Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Urban Duniya. I'm Tim Blight. In this week's Urban Duniya, Navratri celebrated across India and throughout Hindu communities around the world. A short luxury break in Islamabad. And we take a look back at the Duniya look Melbourne, which we released almost 1 year ago. But we begin this week with the earthquake which shook northern Pakistan and Afghanistan last Monday, the 26th of October. Just after 2 p.m, the earthquake was felt throughout the north of Pakistan and tremors were felt in Lahore as well. The city almost came to a standstill. The US Geological Survey measured the earthquake at 7.5 on the Richter scale. The Pakistan Meteorological Department measured it at 8.1 on the Richter scale. So far, 391 deaths have been recorded in relation to this earthquake, and of course our thoughts and prayers are with those who have lost their loved ones and their friends. However, it does feel that Pakistan and Afghanistan have dodged a bullet with this earthquake, because it was just 10 years ago this month, in fact, that more than 80,000 people were killed in an earthquake in northern Pakistan. Navratri, or the celebration of the 9 nights, was marked in India and in Hindu communities throughout the world this past week. The celebration marks the triumph of good over evil, as described in the Sanskrit epic, the Ramayana. I attended the Durga Puja celebration as part of Navratri in Chennai when I was there several years ago, and I have this vision to show you now. Durga Puja and Navratri was celebrated by the Hindu community in Melbourne, and this, what you're seeing right now, is the puja or prayer and prayer ceremony at the Bengali Association of Victoria's Durga Puja event in southeastern Melbourne last Sunday. For those of you who tuned into Urban Duniya last week, you would have seen the Ashura special, in which I described how Hussein, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was martyred in Karbala in modern-day Iraq, trying to defeat the forces of evil. And many Hindu and Muslim groups in the subcontinent saw the parallels between the celebration of Navratri, which is the triumph of good over evil, and the aim of Hussein, who was, of course, martyred, trying to defeat the forces of evil. Two very different occasions, one a celebration, one a mourning, but parallels nonetheless. A change of pace now, and a couple of months ago I took a weekend in Islamabad and Rawalpindi. Islamabad, of course, is Pakistan's national capital, and Rawalpindi about 16 kilometers south of Islamabad. I decided to take the weekend there just to get away from life in Lahore for a little while, actually, and while I was there I certainly was shown a good time by some very good friends of mine who live in Rawalpindi. Islamabad is the kind of place where a certain level of service is expected, most likely because of the huge bank of international clientele that the restaurants and cafes and hotels cater for. While we were there, I visited Mocha, which is a lovely cafe in Kosa Market in the northeast of Islamabad. After that we went to Kuch Khas, which is an entertainment venue, I guess you could call it, but it also has a restaurant option there as well called the Lime Tree. They had a karaoke night on, and then we had dinner at the Lime Tree. The next day we went into the Margala Hills to do some hiking, although I'd hardly call it hiking because we walked about 1 kilometre or 2, but we had fun nonetheless. And then we finished it all off with make your own magnums at the spectacular Centaurus Mall, Pakistan's largest shopping mall. If you would like more information about my upmarket weekend in Islamabad a couple of months ago, please go to the link shown on your screen right now. And don't forget that you can plan your very own Islamabad weekend with Pakistan Traveller by Urban Duniya, my very own book, which is available through Amazon in both ebook and paperback formats. You can just follow the links to Pakistan Traveller through urbanduniya.com. Now, to finish up, the Melbourne Cup, the race that stops the nation, is taking place in Australia's southern city this week, and it is the first Tuesday of November every year when the city tries to glam itself up and go off to the races. Not one to be outdone, it was about a year ago that I premiered the Duniya look Melbourne, which is an attempt through fashion and photography to capture the essence of what Melbourne means. For me, Melbourne is a bit of a dark, brooding, underground, alternative, arty city, and it's certainly very cold a lot of the time as well. So I gathered up some friends to be photographed and also to photograph me, and we decided to pose at various locations around Melbourne and show off the way that Melbourne people dress themselves up. So we're going to leave you today with a couple of the images from that exhibition, and of course if you want to see more you can see the full gallery on urbanduniya.com. I'll be back next week from the Australian capital Canberra, and I'll be bringing you an update from there. Thanks for watching.